I went and rewrote all of this stuff, so it was easier for me to follow. But again, I have the narrative report, and I am waiting for a couple of phone dumps, which I put in request for, because buckle up on that. That's yet to come. So this is, they were asked, and I'll just go through and I'll just read it. I'm going to go through once and then we'll go back through. Okay. So on the day that Indiana called in, so it's June 21st, 2024, the incident overview goes a little something like this. On 6/21/2024, at the request of Indiana State Police, this agency was tasked with conducting a welfare check on Angela Sadlowski, town of blah, blah, blah. Request stemmed from ISP incident report, get a pen, number 24 ISP C009490, filed by Detective A. Smith, badge number 8010. According to that report, Detective Smith was informed by Jerry Holman that Holman received a phone call from Christina Mack. Mack relayed to Sadlowski that Sadlowski allegedly intended to drive from New York to Indiana to commit acts of arson and homicide against Carroll County Sheriff's Office, Lieutenant Holman, Sheriff Tony Liggett, Prosecutor Nick McClellan, and host of the Murder Sheet podcast. Both Mack and Sue Wright, an acquaintance of Sadlowski, reportedly confirmed to Lieutenant Holman they believed she was capable of carrying these out. ISP subsequently used cellular pinging to locate Sadlowski's phone at address. Deputy Super then went out. Okay. This is, I think it was a her. There were two of them. So Deputy Super interviewed Sadlowski at the location. She denied any homicidal or suicidal ideation, stated she had no intention of traveling to Indiana. Deputy Super relayed this information to ISP Detective Smith, and ISP closed the case. With level 5, no additional leads to pursue. Okay, everybody's tucked up and sleeping well, right? Dutchess County instead, on 6/25, I think that the actual welfare check happened on a Friday. So Saturday, Sunday, maybe it was, I can't remember. But anyway, follow-up interview with, the writer conducted a follow-up interview with Sadlowski at address. So the writer is referring to themselves. It's the deputy. Sadlowski advised she is an independent journalist investigating the high-profile Delphi murders case. She stated that while she does know Christina Mack, she had not had any contact with her in the past 6 to 9 months and is unaware why Mack initiated the complaint. Sadlowski provided Mack's phone number, redacted. She further expressed concern that ISP had used a welfare check to ascertain her location. And again, remember, I'm rewriting some of this, rather than out of genuine concern for her welfare. 6/28. So 6/28, right? So again, this is seven days later, that they're still pursuing this. This is, they make a determination. And part of this I learned from speaking with some of the family, some of Angela's family, is that part of what happened in the intervening days, and I'll take a minute here to tell you what happened. There was the knock on the door, and I think that the timeline might be wrong that I was given from whatever, but it was at night, and the way it was posed to me and the way that it sounded, it was pretty aggressive. Knocking, looked out the door, and there were two Dutchess County sheriffs Department cars out front, and two, quote, agitated, that's the word that I was given. It was her dad. It was her dad. Um, uh, um, that they looked agitated. And he opened the door, um, and was able to, he said that they had their hands on, you've seen this. So in my mind anyway, this is the way that I see it, is their hands were, they didn't have guns drawn, but they certainly had them on their holsters, right? Now, what could have gone wrong, right? A ton. And I talked to Dutchess County Sheriff's Department a little bit about this, on their end, and why they pursued this. Um, and they didn't just leave it be, that they did then go, uh, after they established that, um, because I think that Angela wanted to, you know, obviously say, this is not me. I did not talk to Christina Mack. I did not have any conversation with her, and she wanted some follow up. And I think one of the things that also was mentioned, um, in one of my conversations, was that somebody from the ISP had used, it just made it sound like there was, use of other surveillance equipment. Now, that's not, I'm not trying to be opaque, but that I was not able to substantiate. But there was something that was there, that made them want to find out what was going on, that a law enforcement agency would make a call that wasn't based on actual facts. So they were concerned, right? And so they did the next right thing. Um, so after this follow-up interview with Angela, they requested a subpoena. So on 6/28/2024. Now they actually requested. I want you. So we. Okay, I'm just going to get through this. Um, in consultation with their head, um, detective, and based on ISP intelligence unit background data. Okay, so they had background data on Miss Sedlowski, and I've requested that as well. Because again, this is just the overview, the narrative report from the, deputy super. So I'm wondering what they have on, why are they taking up their time, right? Um, So based on ISP Intelligent Union background data and Sedlowski's statement, it was determined that Max, Sedlowski, and Holman's phone data should be compared. I mean, right? And the subpoena request was filed, in the DC, that's Dutchess County District Attorney's Office. Mac's cell phone was pulled. The subpoena results were electronically forwarded from AT&T. Analysis showed no calls or texts between Mac's number, Sedlowski's number, or the numbers associated with Lieutenant Holman in the specific time frame. Now, why this is interesting, and tracers, this is just one of the systems that they use. They were not able to verify, which number. So I think they ran a couple of, um, Holman's phones. So, Dutchess County District Attorney saw enough probable cause, and certainly we know that's the lowest bar, right? But to subpoena a cop's cell phone, wow. Hmm. It's interesting, right? I mean, subpoena result received electronically. Analysis shows no calls or texts between Mac's number, Sadlowski's number, or the numbers associated with Lieutenant Holman for the specific time frame.